Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy again, Dill Talk Sports. We're back with another episode. This is Super Wild Card Weekend recap, and then Divisional Round Playoff preview and prediction. So we got a lot to get going on this episode. I'm really excited to talk through some of these games. The only ones I was wrong about was the 4 and 5 seed. Both the 4 seeds won. All the high seeds won, except the Commanders. So shout out Adam Peters and shout out Dane Daniels. But let's dive right in. We'll give you that in-depth analysis, get you on the divisional round, and we'll keep talking through there, and I'm really excited for these next weeks coming up. So, Super Wild Card Weekend started with the wonderful Houston Texans and the wonderful Los Angeles bum-ass San Diego Chargers. They fucking suck, man. I went with the Chargers in this game in my first review. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. The fucking Justin Herbert, man. I'm done with his ass. I don't know how people even put him in that top tier category. He's not fucking like that. He chokes every fucking big game he has. The Jaguars game and this game. 2 games in his playoff career, played like absolute fucking dog shit. He doesn't get the fucking excuses. I don't want to hear it. Jim Harbaugh's a good coach. Texans really impressed me in this game, man. I mean, that defense looks like they're the truth. I mean, Derek Stingley and their other corner, I don't know his name, but they're the fucking truth, man. They are the truth. They're locked down. They got Daniil Hunter and fucking Will Anderson Jr. still. They're a good team. D'Amico Ryans, I slept on you, man. I mean, C.J. Stroud, 22 for 33, 282, 1 touchdown. So C.J. Stroud had a great game as well. Texans controlled this game start to finish. I mean, Mixon, 25 carries, 106, 1 touchdown. I mean, the bright spot for the Chargers was Ladd McConkey. Still a bully. Will always be a bully. 9 receptions, 197, 1 touchdown. So, Quentin Johnston, get ready to ride fucking Canadian or Chinese, buddy, because you might be done. Ladd McConkey is a baller. He's been taking over. He's been, really doing that. But Texans, that O-line was a concern for me, but they really impressed me this week. C.J. Stroud, looked like the C.J. Stroud of last year, and the Texans looked like the team of last year. Defense, very defense-oriented. D'Amico Ryans had that defense ready to go. I mean, they got great corners. They got great D-line, linebackers, secondary, everything. So we'll see what happens in that game against the Chiefs. We're going to get a preview of that later in this video. But, it was really impressive. That's all I can say about that. Really impressive. Chargers, I don't know what to say, man. Justin Herbert's right out the answer. He hasn't won any big games. He hasn't shown me that he can clutch up in situations he needs to clutch up in. You had everything going for you in this week, and you got blown out. No excuses. 12 points is unacceptable. So Texans, we'll see what happens with the Chiefs next week, but let's keep going in, and we'll dive back into that when we go to the preview of next week. So next game was the Ravens-Steelers. This was another pick that I made. The Ravens won. It was a pretty easy pick for me. Ravens really dominated from start to finish. I mean, Derrick Henry, 26 carries, 186, 2 touchdowns. Had more rushing yards than Lamar Jackson passing yards. You take what you want of that, but that just proves how good Derrick Henry is. You guys do not give Derrick Henry the respect he deserves. It's Lamar, MVP. And no disrespect to Lamar balling out. But Derrick Henry is a generational back, and he has been, and he continues to ball out every fucking week. Even on a Steelers defense that he usually gets clamped up by, dominated this week. So Steelers, man, I got nothing to say. I mean, Russell Wilson, 20 for 29, 272 touchdowns. Didn't have a bad game. They just looked like they didn't care. The Steelers just looked like they'd given up. They got no heart. They got no fucking drive. They got no fucking balls. This isn't the Steelers, man. If you're going to say that you're the Steelers franchise and you're going to keep winning these games, it's not going to win like that. You've been playing like shit year over year, and it's not Tomlin. I don't think they've put the team around Tomlin to even compete for Super Bowls. I mean, if you think you're going to compete, if you say you're going to compete with that team as a quarterback and you get rid of Tomlin and you bring someone else in, I don't see it. I do not. The Ravens, though, did what they did, handled business 28-14. Lamar played good. Derrick Henry. Ravens looking like, it's going to be a great matchup next week in Buffalo. I'm really looking forward to it, really excited for it. So, Steelers, again, though, just looked like they didn't care. Could care less if they're out there. Wanted to just kind of go home and go to Cancun and whatever happens. So, Baltimore, good win. Let's keep going. Next game was the Broncos-Bills. This game started off really nerve-wracking if you were a Bills fan. Fucking Denver Broncos just drive. Then Bo Nix dime to fucking Troy Franklin. But I think that was the wake-up call the Bills needed because the game ended up being 31-7. This was a correct prediction by me, of course, because go fucking Bills, baby. Bills Mafia, we ride. Josh Allen, 20 for 26, 272, 2 touchdowns. James Cook, 23 carries, 121 touchdown. Josh Allen didn't have to be Superman in this game. This game, I think, proved to a lot of people that the Bills can ground and pound teams to death. Didn't need Josh Allen to play superhero, but if he will, he'll be Superman when he needs to be. That's what I like about what I saw from the Bills this week. Broncos, they had a good season. For a team that's in a rebuild, quote unquote, to make the playoffs, you just ran into a better team in Buffalo. I got a lot of friends. My whole family, lives in Colorado, so everyone's like, "Oh, the Bills are going to be on upset alert." What the fuck were y'all all talking about, bro? You're talking about the Buffalo Bills, man. I don't care what y'all say. You want to keep saying the 2 seed's not very good. This is the Buffalo Bills, man. We've been here. We've done that. Josh Allen now 4-1 in the wild card round. The divisional rounds where he's 1-3. He's had some of the tougher divisional matchups, but that's not an excuse. That's unacceptable. But look at his stats when he loses. I think he puts up 31 points a game, 360 yards a game, 3 touchdowns. So anyone that ever blames it on him, they don't clearly like football. They just look at the stats and listen to ESPN because ESPN's a bunch of fucking dick-riding haters. But, Bills controlled this game, setting up a matchup next week with the Ravens. Last time the Ravens came into Buffalo in the divisional round, Buffalo dominated that game start to finish. So we'll see what happens here. I'm really excited to see that game and go forward with that. Next game, Eagles-Packers. This was another one I picked. Eagles 22, Packers 10. Saquon 25, 119. Pretty pedestrian day. A.J. Brown pedestrian day. Jalen Hurts pedestrian day. They just dominated the game, though. Dominated. We're the more physical team, more prepared team, better coach team, everything like that. Jordan Love, I've been saying it all fucking year. He played great against shitty teams, and against good teams, he is fucking horrible. The decision-making that got him 22 picks in college is still the decision-making as today. So that was always his flaw, and people think that if you're going to get around the flaw of throwing interceptions. You're not. You either throw a lot of interceptions, you don't. It's called being a quarterback, man. You're not going to change who you are as a quarterback. I mean, he proved not very much. 20 for 33, 212, 3 interceptions. So all you fucking Packers fans that keep saying, we got another Aaron Rodgers. Nah, y'all disrespected Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying, he had some stinker performances in the playoffs and should have won maybe 1 or 2 more Super Bowls. But consistently NFC Championship game, consistently a perennial team in the NFC. So Jordan Love's not that answer. You can say, look at Brett Favre this year. No, he's not Brett Favre either. Don't disrespect Brett Favre like that. Jordan Love, I know he's the youngest quarterback. I just haven't seen anything from him to make me think he's going to get rid of the interceptions, man. Like, that's Jameis Winston's Achilles heel. Why doesn't Jameis Winston start a lot of games? Because he'll throw 5 touchdowns one game, 5 picks the next game. So, if you want a Jameis Winston-type player, and no disrespect to Jameis Winston, he's a great quarterback. I'd like to have him on a team that, doesn't have good quarterbacks. If I'm a team that's in limbo and I need a quarterback, Jameis Winston, great quarterback. But Eagles dominate start to finish. Sirianni still just proving that he's a good coach. Lets his game do the talking. Of course, he's a loudmouth. He's just embracing the Philly attitude. But they dominated the game. I mean, the Packers really had no really chance. I could have told you that from the kickoff, which was all bullshit. The kickers recovered that fucking ball. The Packers did. I don't know what the fuck that call was. But Eagles really proved who they are and that they're the better team. So, good win there for them, and I'm excited to see that in the game next week. Next game, Commanders-Buccaneers. This was the game I picked right. This was the upset of the week. This was the upset that everyone was picking. The fucking Commanders. Adam Peters, Jaden Daniels, man. Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury. I think their D coordinator is Joe Witt Jr. Just what you've seen out of that's just how a team develops when you have a good coach, good front office, good leadership. That's what the Bears could do. Bears, let's not hire fucking Mike McCarthy, okay? Fuck Mike McCarthy. He's a shitty coach. He got carried by Aaron Rodgers. And yeah, I don't care what his record is. He's decent. I mean, he's not going to win you a Super Bowl. That's my problem with him. He's like a John Fox type. He's a good coach. He might get you to place, but he's not going to win you the Super Bowl when you need him to. So, fuck that. Fuck him coming to the Bears. But anyways, Commanders, Jaden Daniels, 24 for 35, 268, 2 touchdowns. Just carried this game. Let him down the field on that game-winning field goal drive. That 4-minute drive, really proved what he was made of and that he's ready for this moment. And you can't say enough about him and what the Commanders have done this year. Buccaneers were just outmatched. I mean, they got beat by a better team. It looked like Buccaneers were teetering all year long. Chris Godwin go down really hurt them as a team, and they were never the same after that. But Commanders, if I'm Detroit, it's no gimme. I think the Commanders are that team that they're riding on that cardiac Commanders or whatever the fuck they're calling them. You don't want that. When they got the belief, they got the heart, they got everything they think they want. So we'll see what happens with the Commanders. I think it's going to be a really good game, but really good win for the Commanders, and they're starting to build the right way, kind of how the Texans were last year. This is the Texans last year. Last game of Super Wild Card Weekend was the Rams-Vikings. This was a game I completely picked wrong. I thought the Vikings were worth a shit. They fucking stink, man. I don't know if 2 weeks ago when they were holding Sam Darnold on their fucking shoulders, they thought they won the Super Bowl, but just a piss poor display. I mean, 9 fucking sacks. You can say what you want about Sam Darnold's performance, 25 for 40, 245, 1 touchdown, but 9 fucking sacks is 9 fucking sacks. You could say we'll give you half on him, so 4 or 5, but even that's being really generous to the O-line help. 9 sacks unacceptable. But the Rams, they were prepared for this moment. They've been here before. They've won a Super Bowl. Even getting the game moved to Arizona, they said it was like a Super Bowl atmosphere, so they were used to it and ready to go. I mean, Sean McVay again proving that he's probably the best coach in the NFL. With what he has, the defense of the Rams really showed up this week. Some weeks they show up, some weeks they don't show up. I don't know. The Rams defense has really confused me, but that young D line, Jared Verse and Brandon Fisk, balling, bro, straight balling. That's Florida State. Fuck yeah, baby. Florida State Seminoles. Really good. Rams going to, Philly next week? They're going to go to Philly. So that's a game I'm nervous for if I'm the Eagles, I would say, honestly. I think the Rams are, again, getting hot at the right time. They're showing who they are, and they're proving that they're a really, really good team and a force to be reckoned with. So we'll see what happens there. I'm excited to see what happens, but the Rams just dominated the game. Start to finish, there's no question what they did. Proved they're a better team, proved they've been here before, and Stafford and McVay, and then boys, Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp. I mean, we'll see what happens tonight, or this weekend, but really excited to see what happens, and we're going to go from there. So that was Super Wildcard Weekend Review. We're going to dive right into the Divisional Round predictions and a little analysis. So first game of next week, Divisional Round is Texans Chiefs. I see Kansas City favored by 8, man. I think they're giving – I think they're disrespecting the Texans a lot. I think the Texans, although their record is 10-7, they beat some good teams. They lost some games they should have won. But if that secondary plays how they did last weekend, they could beat the Chiefs 100%. They played so good. They got pressure on the quarterback. Their secondary plays really good. They locked them up. DeMeco Ryans is a great coach. CJ Stroud seems like he, rises to the occasion when he needs to. I mean, again, but you're going against the defending 2-time Super Bowl champions. You got to come in and do something else. So, man, I still got to go with the Chiefs in this game as much as I think the Texans could win this game. I just think the Chiefs are a better team. They've been here, done that. So if the Texans want to elevate themselves, they're going to win this game, though, and prove that they're a better team. But, again, we're on with the Chiefs for now just because what I've seen. And, Mahomes just had a kid. Shout out Mahomes, Golden. Congrats on the child, man. That always helps. You get that little bit of dad boost. So, Chiefs going to win this game. It's going to be a close one, but I think the Chiefs are going to get it done. Next game, Commanders-Lions, Saturday night. This is another game I think is a lot closer than people think. I'm going to, of course, go with the Lions just because I think they've been the best team in the NFC all year. But this is a game that, if I'm the Lions, I'm not taking lightly. The Commanders are coming in. They're the real deal. Jaden Daniels is the real deal. Dan Quinn has been in the Super Bowl. If he didn't have Kyle Shanahan choke a lead away, he probably is a Super Bowl champion. So Dan Quinn's a great coach. Dan Quinn versus Dan Campbell. That's going to be a matchup for the ages. I don't even care about the fucking teams out there. Let me see the coaches. Those two wacky ass motherfuckers. I love them though. It's great to see. We're going with the Lions. I know the Commanders have a 30th ranked rush defense, and I think Jahmyr Gibbs is starting to get real loose. So Jared Goff had a great year. Lions, the defense has been playing really good even without Hutchinson. Shout out Aaron Glenn for that and keeping them together and all that. So we're going to go with the Lions. I think it's going to be a tight one, but we're going to ride with the Lions in that game. Next game is the Eagles-Rams. Again, it's another one I think, you know what? I got to do one upset of the week. We're going to go with the Rams in this one. I think the Eagles are really, really good, but they didn't show me enough against the Packers that would make me think that they're better than the Rams. The defense proved a lot, but the offense didn't really show much. And that could be the fact that Jalen Hurts is coming off of that concussion. But what I watched that game, I watched the Rams and I watched the Eagles, and I saw the Rams and I was like, the Rams are a better team than the Eagles in this scenario. So we'll see what happens. It's a long cross-country trip, which could be, but again, the Rams have been here, done that before. Same with the Eagles. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a great coaching matchup. Sirianni versus McVay, two really good coaches as well. Really, really excited to see what's going to happen because I think this is one of the better matchups of the week. Rams, Stafford balling out, defense playing really good. So we're going to go with the Rams in that one. And then the last game is the Sunday night fucking game, man. The Bills and Ravens. I see Baltimore favored by 1. We're riding with the fucking Bills, man. I got to ride with the Bills. I think this is Josh Allen's the truth, man. I think Lamar's great. I saw what happened in the first game. It's always hard to beat teams twice in a season, which I like the Bills in this situation. I think they're going to have to figure out if they want to win the game. They got to bracket fucking Derrick Henry. I think you got to let Lamar beat you throwing. You're not going to let Lamar beat you with his legs or Derrick Henry beat you with legs. You got to let Lamar beat you throwing. If he beats you throwing, you're going to lose the game. But Josh Allen, man, he didn't have to be Superman last week. I think they're conserving him. They showed that they can control the game start to finish. Defense played good, did what they needed to after they got that quick touchdown at the beginning of the game. So defense really has to lock in. Sean McVay, I heard, he's going to more man looks now as opposed to he used to be only zone coach, which I think was a lot of their downfall, especially when they played the Chiefs. When they were just playing zone, they would just pick fucking Travis Kelce would run fucking circle routes and just get open every time. So I think the Bills, when they can play a man defense, I think they're a completely different team. I think Rasul Douglas is a super underrated corner. Christian Benford, has really developed this year from Villanova. So the Bills, I really like them in this game. I think, again, Josh Allen didn't have to be Superman last week. I think this is the week he takes off his fucking suit and brings out the cape. So we're going to go with the Bills. So that is my divisional round preview. We're going to have a real in-depth analysis and breakdown come next week. I'm going to, really be locked in for these games. So we got Bills, Rams, Lions, and Chiefs. Like I said, I think a lot of these games, these are really good games and good matches, so I'm really excited to watch all of them. But this is Dill Talk Sports. This was Super Wildcard Weekend Review and Divisional Round Preview. I hope everyone's having a great new year. Everyone's following their dreams and grinding every single day and doing what they want to do. Keep believing in yourself. Be you. Be your dynasty. Build your dynasty. And always, always stay positive. I appreciate y'all joining along. I appreciate the support. God bless. This is Dill Talk Sports, and I'll see you later.